we normally would start with the town moderator calling the meeting to order. Both our town moderator and the assistant town moderator are out of town, so we have to appoint a temporary moderator for this town meeting. Mark Salerno has agreed to do that, so I need a motion to appoint Mark Salerno as temporary moderator for the special town meeting of April 20, 2022.
I'll move to appoint Mark Salerno.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, seconded by Paul. I'll give it to you. You serve as the moderator. Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Mark, it's your meeting now.
All right. Good evening. Welcome to the special meeting of April 20th, 2022. I'm Mark Salerno, temporary town meeting moderator, in place of Eugene Cushman, who is out of town. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, I'm going to start and have our town clerk and assistant town clerk are out of town, as the first selectman mentioned. So I'll ask Sandra Anderson to read the call to the meeting.
Town of East Lyme, notice of town meeting, April 20th, 2022. Notice is hereby given of a special town meeting of the Town of East Lyme to be held on April 20th, 2022 at 7 p.m. Eastern Time at the East Lyme Town Hall Upper Meeting Room for the following purposes: to consider and act upon a special appropriation in the amount of $1,060,417.84 for the following items, with the source of funds being American Rescue Funds. $461,945 small business and nonprofit requests as per Exhibit 9A of the subcommittee's report dated March 16, 2022, provided each recipient execute an agreement with the town that the fund shall be used only for its stated purpose, and that those entities which have received prior ARP funds verify in writing the use of said funds before receiving any additional funds. $340,000 garbage truck, Public Works. $150,000 air handler, Town Hall, Public Works. $12,800 software for emergency planning, emergency management. $25,000 Darrow Pond Recreation Area Master Plan, Parks and Recreation. $2,659.90 Town Hall Dropbox Building Maintenance. $5,225 Fire Safety Equipment, Fire Marshal. $5,865 Glass Doors and Owl Camera for Zoom Meeting Space Library. $25,000 Contingency ARP Administrative Costs and Attorney's Fees. $31,922.94 Contingency Emergency Management Pandemic Needs. To consider and act upon a special appropriation in the amount of $2,726,713.40, subject to receipt of said funds, for the following items, with the source of funds being American Rescue Funds. Public Works, upgrades to HVAC at Field Services Building, $270,000. Police Department, switch to state radio communication system, $466,161.34. Parks and Recreation, continue part-time prevention mentoring coordinator position, began October 2021, $55,000. Parks and Recreation, continue part-time counselor position at Youth Services, began February 2022, $20,000. Parks and Recreation, playscape improvements to McCook Point Park and Peretz Park, $150,000. Parks and Recreation, replace all water fountains in parks, $75,000. Parks and Recreation, restroom enhancements in parks, $200,000. Senior Center, Commission on Aging, full-time social worker, $59,475. Library, Senior Center, Parks and Recreation, feasibility study, $38,000. Water and sewer upgrade, Niantic sewer pump station, $600,000. Water and sewer, recoat Boston Post Road water tank, $750,000. Contingency for emergency management pandemic needs, $43,077.06. to transact any other business proper to come before the meeting, dated East Lyme, Connecticut, this 14th day of April, 2022. And this was posted on the signpost, published in the day paper, and recorded in the town clerk's office.
Thank you, Sandy. Okay, before we begin, I'd like to go over the ground rules. Under Connecticut General Statute 7.6, to vote at this meeting, you must be an elector of the town, or you must be a U.S. citizen 18 years or older who owns property on the grand list as of October 1st, 2021, in the amount of $1,000 or more. Under Connecticut General Statutes 9-360, any person who votes at this meeting who is ineligible to vote, or an eligible voter who votes more than once, could be subject to a fine no less than $300 and no more than $500, and a prison of not less than 1 year and no more than 2 years, and be disenfranchised. Anyone who attempts to vote assuming the name of a legally qualified person shall be guilty of a Class D felony and shall be disenfranchised. Please do not conduct dialogue amongst yourselves and address all the questions through me, the moderator. If you wish to speak, please come to the podium and give your name and address for the record. If you're not eligible to vote, please make that fact known before you address this meeting. You may approve, disapprove an expenditure, reduce the expenditure, but you cannot increase the expenditure. In the event we need tellers and checkers, I'll appoint the register and assistant register if they are needed. I will start with number 1 item on the agenda, which is to consider and act upon a special appropriation in the amount of $1,060,417.84 for the following items, with the source of funds being the American Rescue Funds. And I apologize for having to reread this, which Andy just did, but $461,945 for small business and nonprofit requests as per Exhibit 9A of the subcommittee's report dated March 16, 2022, provided each recipient execute an agreement with the town that the funds shall be used only for the stated purposes, and that those entities which have received prior ARP funds verify in writing the use of said funds before receiving any additional funds. The breakdown is $340,000 for a garbage truck, $150,000 for an air handler at town hall, $12,800 software for emergency planning, $25,000 Darrow Pond Recreation Area Master Plan, $2,659.90 for a town hall drop box, $5,225 for fire safety equipment, $5,865 glass doors and owl camera for Zoom meeting space at the library, $25,000 contingency, ARP administrative costs and attorney's fees, and finally $31,922.94 contingency for the emergency management pandemic needs. I will, do I hear a resolution? Anyone?
So resolved. So moved.
So moved. We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
We have a second. Okay. And I will open it up to the first selectman to start.
Kevin Siri, 25 Quail Crest Road, East Lyme, Connecticut. This is the culmination of several months of hard work by an ad hoc committee that was appointed by the Board of Selectmen back in January. Ann Ciccello, Ann Santoro, Rich Steele, Paul Maxfield, 2 people from the Board of Selectmen, 2 people from the Board of Finance were on that, as well as 2 members of the community. Lee Edwards, who's right here, Aileen Cahill, somebody from small businesses, or representing small businesses, Rita Rivera, and somebody representing nonprofits, Pandy Wohler. And she was selected for not only for her abilities, but she was not going to be part of any or affiliated with any of the nonprofits that were asking for any of the funding in that. So they spent a lot of time vetting everybody that went through and did a great job of coming up, not only addressing the needs of the town, but addressing the needs that were brought to them by small businesses and nonprofits. As you can see, the Legion, our veterans organizations are represented here, Karen Scher, Giving Gardens, to say, just to name a few. All the things being brought forward for approval tonight have been vetted through the town attorney. They've gone through them and said, yep, they all meet the guidelines set forth, and they'll all have to, basically very much state what the money will be used for. This would normally have been next month, the first meeting next month, but we had to speed it up because it looks like if we get this done quick, we'll be able to get our garbage trucks soon and not a year from now. So that had something to do with us moving up a little quicker. So that's it. especially for this one, it's all been explained. The garbage truck, air handlers, this town hall needs some dehumidifying in the vaults and so forth like that. This is exactly what it's designed for, airflows in building for that too. The software for emergency planning, obviously. Darrow Pond Recreation area. That's such a wonderful area at the north end of town for passive recreation, and we'd really like to get a handle on what does the town want to do with it and what can we do to enhance it. This will allow that to be done. The drop box, the one we have outside, so if people are coming to drop off their taxes right now or something for the building department, something like that, it's the box with the wire in it. It's not very secure. This will be very similar to the ballot box you see out there, much more secure. Some safety equipment for the fire marshals. Making a glass door area for Zoom meetings in the library. If you go into it's one of the little cubby holes to the right as you're going through. Contingency for administrative costs and attorney fees. The attorneys vetted this, but they didn't do it for free. They're going to charge us for it, of course. And the contingency, and you'll see this on part 2 as well, this will leave the town the ability, if an exigent circumstance comes up or an emergency comes up at some point in time in the next couple of years, it's pandemic related, that money will be readily available and won't have to go through several approval processes. Back in early January, when everybody was looking for the test kits, you couldn't get them. Even if I had been able to locate 10 or 20,000, by the time I would have gone through the process of getting ARP funds allocated, would have been several weeks. This way it would allow me with the Board of Selectmen within a day to get that approved and moved. So that's why we thought we'd put some money into that for unknown emergencies that could be pandemic related. And that's all I have on that topic. So.
Thank you, Mr. First Selectman. Is there anyone else in the public that'd like to be heard? Going once? Does anyone like to be heard? Seeing none, I will call the resolution. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay. Ayes have it. Resolution passes. We move on to item number 2 on the agenda. To consider and act upon a special appropriation in the amount of $2,726,713.40, subject to the receipt of said funds for the following items, with the source of funds being the American Rescue Funds. Breaks down as Public Works, upgrades to HVAC for Field Services Building, $270,000. Police Department, switch to State Radio Communication System, $466,161.34. Parks and Rec, continue PT Prevention Mentoring Coordinator position which began on 10/21, $55,000. Parks and Rec, continue PT Part-Time Counselor position at Youth Services began 2/22, $20,000. Park and Rec, Playscape improvements to McCook's Point Park and Peretz Park, $150,000. Parks and Rec, replace all water fountains in parks, $75,000. Parks and Rec, restroom enhancements in the park. Restroom enhancements in park, $200,000. Senior Center, COA, full-time social worker, $59,475. Library Senior Center, Parks and Rec feasibility study, $38,000. Water and sewer, upgrade Niantic sewer pump station, $600,000. Water and sewer recoat Boston Post Road water tank, $750,000. Contingency for emergency management pandemic needs, $43,077.06. Do I hear a resolution?
So moved.
We have a motion. Do we have a second? Second. We have a second. All right. Would anyone like to speak, Mr. First Selectman?
Again, Kevin Seri, same address. I haven't moved since I spoke before. 25 Crest Road, East Lyme. Just real briefly, this allows us to get some more public works upgrades. The field service building is several years old. The vehicles park in there. You obviously want some good air exchange in there. This will allow that. The police department needs to switch to a state radio system. It will enhance communications and able to talk to other agencies and so forth like that. The chief did a very good job of explaining that. So that's what that's for. We've had some very good success with the mentoring coordinator and the part-time counselor at youth services with the needs that we're seeing at the youth level. That was very much thought that those needed to be continued for the next year, so they are being done. Going along with outdoor enhancements in that, the improvement to some of the playground equipment at McCook's Park and Peretz Park. Replace all water fountains in parks. And this will also have, as we pointed out last time, a little pet area too. So if you want to fill up your pet little cup there too, you can do it. But this is because now you'll be able to fill up a container rather than put your mouth over it like, most of those are all closed down now. Restroom enhancements, especially at Hole in the Wall, that gets inundated during the summer. This is going to be an attempt to enhance that, so be some more facilities there. It won't happen this summer, but it'll be following to that. The full-time social worker for the Senior Center and the Commission on Aging, Kathy Wilson, did a great job of showing that seniors really suffered during the pandemic. Not so much because they couldn't get onto the FaceTime and so forth, but they lacked that one-to-one seeing people. So this will address some of the needs. And as she pointed out, there's a significant, over 59% of the population in East Lyme, or 39% of the population is over 55. So there's a need in that area. The feasibility study for the community center, it's an aging building, it needs a roof, so before we're going to look into any major changes in there, we want to get someone to come in and tell us what can we do to make that a better facility for us. Upgrading the Niantic sewer pump station, that needs to be done. It's the last one on its way to Waterford, so we want to make sure that's done. And the recoat of the Boston Post Road water tank, that's the one you see right near Scott's farm there. It needs some painting, and they're also looking inside to make sure there's nothing in there that could be dangerous and harmful to people. So that's going to get a good thorough. And again, just adding to that contingency, so we'll have that needed if necessary. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. First Selectman. Is there anyone else that would like to be heard? Going once? Anyone else? Seeing none? I will call the resolution. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, please signify by saying nay. Ayes have it. Resolution passes. That is the last item on the agenda. That being said, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll move to adjourn.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
And we got a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We never get any opposition to that one. Thank you, everyone, for coming out.